Hello and welcome back to Tammy's Antique Vintage Dolls and More. And today we're going to do an update on Janet's dolls. Now Janet sent me a nice wonderful box of dolls. And I'm just going to say something before I start. This is for her cousin Linda, who converses back and forth with me. Linda, I'm just going to tell you this. Apparently there was a second box that you had sent. There was two boxes. I got box 2. Apparently there was box 1. If I gave you yesterday my email address, so if you want to send me the tracking number, I can try tracking it within Canada here. It's probably going to come this week anyways. I'm hoping to anyways. I wouldn't worry too much about it. I've had some strange things happen with boxes at times, and they all show up. I sent one box to somebody one time, and it landed up at an army base, post office or something, and it sat there for like a week, and then it finally made it to the destination. So, you know, I know things happen, so it could be very well sitting here somewhere, you know. It'll come, but tracking it, we can find out even more. If you can't track it from where you're at, please send me the tracking number and I will track it for you and get back to you. Anyways, this is one of Janet's dolls. This is a little Horseman doll that she sent me. Now, what did I do to this doll? Well, I changed her clothes to begin with because I wanted to see that face. And her face is just beautiful. But what I did was, this is the wig that was on her. Now, what I didn't like about the wig was that it was covering up her face. So I trimmed the bangs and I trimmed around the face here, just a little bit off the wig, and just so we can see those beautiful eyes on her. And she looks gorgeous, and I think she turned out quite nicely. And I put on a nice little dress that was sent to me, and some little shoes, and she's looking good. So for a little Horseman doll, she looks rather cute. And I seen her on eBay by mistake one day. I was looking, and it was the hands that got me. I saw these hands, the way they were posed, and I remember her hands being posed in the same manner. So I know the type of wig that, if I ever was to replace her wig, I know the type of wig that she's going to need, what would be close to her original wig. So what she originally had. So that was nice to find. Now another doll that Janet gave me, I'll just set her off to the side here. It's this wonderful little walker doll, and she walks back and forth. Let's take a look at her. See, so she's got that going on, that head motion and those leg motion. She's going places, she's shopping, and she's just a-going. But anyways, I dressed her up in what I could find that was small enough for her for right now. Now, to say that's what she's going to wear all the time, I don't think so. We're going to look for a nice little dress for her. But what did I do to her to change her? Well, her wig was falling apart. Every time I tried to comb it, to try to style it, there was hair that was missing out of the wig itself. It wasn't working. So I pulled off her wig and I gave her a new wig. And this is the wig that I had for her. Remember when I told you that I took some of those newer bisque dolls that I buy and I just smash their heads and I take out their eyes, I take off their wigs? Well, this is a wig that's off of one of those, and it fits her beautifully. And that's what I like using about them, because they really hold no value. They hold value only to the little girl who likes to collect them, and that is it. They're so mass produced out there that they sit in my Salvation Army in the bottom of a bucket, and there's like I said, I have found bowling balls on top of them. There's one right now in there. I almost rescued her, and she's missing her leg, and I would just like to take her, and her wire sticking out, and I might go in and rescue her and just take her, and I can, you know, get her wig off of her. And this is what I like to use them for, is dolls like this that come along that need wigs, you know, our older dolls that do have the value. And that's why I do what I do. Now, there are some bisque dolls out there that are true collectors, and those I would never do that to. These are those dime a dozen that come in these little slim boxes, and you can go to the cheap stores and pick them up for next to nothing, 10 bucks or whatever. That's what I'm talking about, and that's what these dolls are from. So anyways, she got herself a nice little wig and a set of clothing, and these are some shoes that Janet sent me in a box some time ago there, and I put those right on her feet, and they fit beautifully. So she got those. So that's her there. Now another little doll that she sent me was this cute little one here, right here, and I just love her. This is a royal doll. She is marked royal doll on the back. And I put a little flower up in her hair, and she has a soother, and she has a rattle sitting on her fingers there. And oh, she's a cutie. I love that little face on her. She's beautiful, and I think she just looks gorgeous. So anyways, that's not what she's going to wear forever either. She's looking for her, I'm looking for her forever clothes as well. That would be great for her. Then I'll put her off to the side. And the other one that I fixed up with one of Janet's dolls is this little guy right here. Cleaned him up. He cleaned up beautiful. Oh, was he a dirty little boy. He was dirty, but boy, we got him cleaned up. And that goof off works just beautiful on him. Now, he has a hole right directly in his mouth. He's anatomically correct as well, so he has to wear blue because he's a little boy. And so there he is with his bottle, and he is just happier than ever. And we're just going to put his hat on him. And I'm going to look for a little crib for him, and then he can go in that crib and he can be happy. But there you go. And there we are. Those are the dolls that I have fixed up for right now. Now, one of my own that I bought just recently is this lovely little Cupid doll. A little stuffed Cupid doll. Now, what did I do to this little guy? Well, his head was sitting actually way down when you see him. Actually, his head is sitting up quite nicely now. That's as much as his head will let him. His legs are so bent up that he goes downward. So if there was more stuffing in here, I could get him to sit up just a little bit better maybe, you know. Maybe that's better right like that. Now, I opened up the back of his neck there, and I put in some stuffing to help raise his head up a little bit, sewed it back up again. But I wasn't happy with him still. He needed to be cleaned up. So what I did was I took a toothbrush and I took a little bit of soap and water and started to go over him. But the stench came out of him. He started to really stink. The years of play and just sitting just was so much baked into him that I had to get that out. So the best thing I could do for him and take a chance on it was I put him into a pillowcase and he got washed. And he came out beautiful. And again, I used some of the goof off on his face just to take off some of the dirt. The rest of the dirt came off in the wash machine. And he smells so much better now. And another thing about it is that there's the cat brush method that you can use by going over the fur. But on these old type of dolls, I don't suggest that. I suggest just using a nice hard or like a medium toothbrush. And it works wonders on these dolls. And you can, raise their fur up with that. Now, if you, or the type of material that it's made out of. One of the things you'll notice on this doll is that when I got him, you couldn't see the difference between the fur going around his face and the hat. Now you can see the distinct difference between the two. This is the fur going around the face. This is the hat part, the cap of the head. Now you can see the difference between the two. It melted right into one another. You couldn't even see the difference. Now there's a lift. And I did that all with a toothbrush, just lifting it up, going against the grain of the fur, lifts it up, and I lost no fur out of him. The cat brush, I was losing, I tried for 2 seconds, and I went, no. So it was just going to start pulling out his fur. So you got to be very careful with the cat brush method. It is good. It has its place. Maybe newer stuffed animals, you can use that on. But when it comes to these ones that are getting on the older side, I suggest use caution, and if it's pulling out too much, go to a firmer toothbrush. That would work. That works so much better on these type of old stuffed animals and dolls. So anyways, that's what I'm showing here today. This is my little group of fix-me-uppers. I think they turned out beautiful, and they look great. I hope you like what I've done, Janet. And they're going to go on a shelf, and they're going to look just wonderful. So hope you have a good Sunday, and we'll be talking again to you soon.
Thank you for joining us.